What is up, everyone? Welcome to the FAA podcast. Happy Football Friday. We're about to kick off just a magnificent slate of football this weekend. Starting off tonight in a hot second with the Florida State game at Virginia, number 8 Florida State at Virginia. That's kicking off on ESPN right now. So I'll give you updates on that one. We also got a whole host of other big time games in college and the NFL. So we'll talk about those in a second. But let's talk about Thursday Night Football last night. First, Seahawks dramatic win at the buzzer, 23-20 over the Cardinals. Had a 2-touchdown lead. Seahawks were up, 20-6. Cardinals rallying in the fourth quarter, scored 2 touchdowns, got the thing back to 20 all, and then Sam Darnold drove him down the field, got Jason Myers in range, 52 yards for the game winner there. Darnold was excellent most of the night, 69.2%, 242, a touchdown. Of course, his one carry was a big-time 24-yarder. When I had his under 5.5 yards rushing, he had not rushed for anything the entire year up until last night. So that was annoying. But anyways, Kyler Murray played decent, 65.9%, 200, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, 5 carries for 41 yards there. The first interception was atrocious, threw it right to Kobe Bryant, which, again, that was stupid. That rolling that he fumbled, I have no clue how that stood. For one, he was giving himself up by a slide. And for two, he was touched down anyways. So it made no sense to me why they upheld that ruling there. But luckily, the Seahawks were able to come back out of it and get the win regardless. Kenneth Walker, he led the game in rushing for Seattle, 19 carries, 81 yards, and a 29-yard reception as well. Jackson Smith-Njigba, wide receiver for the Seahawks, he led the game in receiving, caught 4 of his 5 targets for 79 yards. 10-target day for Cardinals wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr., caught 6 for 66 and a touchdown. 11-target day for his teammate tight end Trey McBride, caught 7 for 52. Defensively, I'm going with the Seahawks. Linebacker Uchenna Nwosu, 5 tackles, 3 solos, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, 2 QB hits. Leonard Williams, his teammate, had a great game as well. Seahawks sacked Kyler Murray 6 times, really put the pressure on him. That Mike McDonald defense was lights out up front all night, and they didn't do enough to allow the Cardinals to not come back, but luckily their offense picked them up and got the win there. Seahawks covered -1.5, under 43.5 by the hook. Love to see that. College football news, big time. Oklahoma State becomes the 3rd head coach opening. They have fired longtime head coach Mike Gundy, 170-90 in 20-plus seasons, this being his 21st. 12-6 bowl record, 2-1 in New Year's 6 bowls, 2-time Fiesta Bowl champion. 2011 Big 12 champ as well. Finished number 3 in the AP poll, 1-3 in the Big 12 championship game, however, which kind of wild. That was just 2 years ago, his last Big 12 title appearance in 2023. Last year, 3-9. Not good at all. This year, 0-3, 0-4, whatever it is, and lost to Tulsa at home. So, yeah. Tough, but Oklahoma State, for the first time in 20 seasons, will have a new head coach. 21 seasons. Staying in state, Oklahoma, big time news for the Sooners. QB John Mateer, he is out about a month. Surgery for broken hand in his throwing hand there. Michael Hawkins, the sophomore quarterback, he will start in the games going forward, but probably looking at late October, early November for Mateer to be back. Heisman hopes drained, essentially. UFL news, couple of big-time re-signings. Showboats, they re-signed punter Matt Mengel and safety Eli Walker. Defenders re-signing wide receiver Ty Scott. And the Stallions re-signed running back Ricky Person Jr. UFL free agency for the first time ever coming up soon, I believe, next month. NFL news. We had a trade go down this week. The Jets securing some secondary depth. Their defense has been a big question mark, a surprising question mark for the Jets this season. But they got corner Jarvis Brownlee Jr. and a 2026 7th-round pick from the Tennessee Titans for a 2026 6th-round pick. So, swap of late-round picks. Interestingly enough, the Titans lose on this trade because they used a 5th-round pick on Brownlee last year to draft him. And, now they're only getting a 6th-round pick back for him. So, yeah, I don't know. He has played pretty well for the Titans. So, I'm not sure why the Titans wanted to do this here, but it's definitely great for the Jets for sure. They get a guy that has some upside, and yeah. The Hall of Fame modern era candidates have been announced for the NFL. QB, Saints, Drew Brees, first ballot for him. He's in. I mean, he's in. I don't think there's there's much qualm about Drew Brees not getting in on the first ballot there. Eagles, Randall Cunningham. Panthers, Jake Delhomme. Raiders, Rich Gannon. 49ers, Jeff Garcia. Giants, Eli Manning. He was a 2025 finalist. Eagles, Donovan McNabb. Titans, Steve McNair. Chargers, Phillip Rivers, also a first ballot, as is 49ers, Alex Smith. So, by the way, the teams that I'm saying for these guys were either the team that they spent the most amount of years with, if they were on multiple teams, or the team that I recognize them from. So, running backs, Seahawks, Sean Alexander. Bucks, fullback Mike Allstott. Giants, Tiki Barber. Cardinals, fullback Larry Centers. Chiefs, Jamal Charles. Patriots, Corey Dillon. Buccaneers, Falcons, Warwick Dunn. Texans, Arian Foster. Titans, Eddie George. 49ers, Frank Gore, first ballot for him. Chiefs, Priest Holmes. Rams, Steven Jackson. Titans, Chris Johnson. Jets, Thomas Jones. Ravens, Jamal Lewis. Seahawks, Marshawn Lynch. Eagles, LaShawn McCoy. He is a first ballot guy. Browns, wide receiver, punt and kick returner Eric Metcalf. Chargers, fullback Lorenzo Neal. Jaguars, Fred Taylor. He was a 2025 finalist. And 49ers, Ricky Waters. For the wide receivers, it's Cardinals, Anquan Bolden. Packers, Donald Driver. Cardinals, Larry Fitzgerald, first ballot for him. Rams, Torrey Holt, 2025 finalist, and he advances because he was in the final 7. So he advances to the final 15. He is a finalist already for the 2026 class because he was that close last year. Bengals, Chad Johnson. Broncos, Brandon Lloyd. Broncos, Brandon Marshall. Ravens, Derek Mason. Lions, Herman Moore. Panthers, Musa Muhammad. Packers, Doherty Nelson. Jags, Jimmy Smith. Broncos, Rod Smith. Panthers, Steve Smith Sr. He was a 25 finalist. Steelers, Hines Ward. Colts, Reggie Wayne, a 25 finalist. Patriots, Wes Welker. Falcons, Roddy White. Tight ends, 49ers, Vernon Davis. Seahawks, Zach Miller. Panthers, Greg Olson. He's a first ballot. Panthers, Wesley Walls. 49ers and Titans, Delaney Walker. Cowboys, Jason Witten. He is a first ballot guy. Offensive line, Bengals offensive tackle Willie Anderson, 2025 finalist. He advances to the 26 finalists. Ravens center Matt Burke, Lions offensive tackle Lomas Brown, Bills guard Reuben Brown, Broncos offensive tackle Ryan Clady, Steelers guard David DeCastro, he's a first ballot. Saints guard Jari Evans, he was a 25 finalist. Panthers offensive tackle Jordan Gross, Panthers center Ryan Khalil, Bears center Olin Kreutz, Jets center Nick Mangold, Patriots guard Logan Mankins, Broncos center Tom Nalen, Steelers center Marquise Pouncey, a first ballot, Colts center Jeff Saturday, Packers guard Josh Sitton, 49ers offensive tackle Joe Staley, Chiefs guard Brian Waters, Dolphins offensive tackle Richmond Webb, Cowboys offensive tackle Eric Williams, Raiders guard Steve Wisniewski, Ravens guard Marshall Yanda, first 2025 finalists as well. The D-line looks like this. Falcons defensive end linebacker John Abraham. Bengals defensive tackle Geno Atkins, first ballot for him. Titans, as is Titans defensive tackle Jarrell Casey, first ballot. Broncos defensive end Elvis Dumerville. Saints defensive tackle nose tackle Leroy Glover. Colts defensive end Robert Mathis. Ravens D tackle Haloti Ngata. Cowboys D end Jay Ratliff. Bucks D end Simeon Rice. 49ers defensive end Justin Smith. Bills nose tackle defensive tackle Ted Washington. Patriots defensive tackle nose tackle Vince Wilfork. And Vikings defensive tackle Kevin Williams. So a stop for FSU. Virginia punting, and FSU is going to have it right around their 20-yard line. Linebackers, 49ers, Navarro Bowman, Bears, Lance Briggs, Patriots, Teddy Bruschi, Panthers, Thomas Davis, first ballot for him. Steelers, James Ferrier, Redskins, London Fletcher, Steelers, James Harrison, Packers, A.J. Hawk, Panthers, Luke Kuechly, a 25 finalist. He advances to the 26 finals. Packers, Clay Matthews III, Cowboys, Dat and Guyan. 49ers, Takeo Spikes, Ravens, Terrell Suggs, 25 finalists for him. 49ers, Lee Woodall. Defensive backs, Chiefs safety Eric Berry, Seahawks safety Cam Chancellor, Packers safety Nick Collins, Redskins defensive back D'Angelo Hall, Patriots safety Rodney Harrison, Jets corner James Hasty, Steelers defensive back Carnell Lake, Falcons defensive back Allen Rossum. He was also he was mainly a returner though. I don't know why they listed him as a defensive back. He has over 15,000 return yards. Patriots Eagles corner Asante Samuel, Dolphins corner Patrick Surtain, Seahawks safety Earl Thomas, Bears corner Charles Tillman, Eagles corner Troy Vincent, Cardinals safety Adrian Wilson, and Cowboys safety Darren Woodson. I notice a lot with the defensive backs, ton of safeties. It's kind of like how the market is in free agency right now for safeties in the NFL. Very disrespectful to the safety position. It feels that way in the hall too. A lot of safeties waiting around. A lot of good ones, I should say. Punters and kickers, Eagles kicker David Akers, Steelers kicker Gary Anderson, Lions kicker Jake Hansen, Panthers kicker John Casey, Giants punter Sean Landetta, Raiders punter Shane Leckler, Patriots and Colts kicker Adam Vinatieri. He was a 25 finalist. He advances to the 26 finals. Special teams, Browns wide receiver, kick returner, punt returner Josh Cribbs, Redskins running back, kick returner, punt returner Brian Mitchell. So 128 guys, I believe it is. And how this is going to work moving forward is they will trim the list to 50 plus ties, just like the PGA Tour. And then that'll be announced in mid-October. And then they'll trim it again to 25. And then another trimming to 15. That is the finalists. You're in the finals when you're in the 15. The last 15. And then after that, it goes down to 7, or it goes down to 10 and then 7. You have to have 80% of the vote to move on. And then they're going to vote for 5 out of the 7. And then they will make their determination on whether it's 3, 4, or 5 to make it in. But yeah, if you make the final 7 and don't make the hall that year, now you get into the final 15 the following year, and I guess subsequent years until you make it. But yeah, so yeah, Willie Anderson, Torrey Holt, Luke Kuechly, Adam Vinatieri all automatically advanced to the final 15 this year because they were finalists last year in the final 7. Tough one for FSU, 3rd and 20 after a penalty. Thomas Castellanos looking for something and throws a 3-yard completion. Fantastic. I had FSU to score a touchdown on their first drive, so that's a little bit. That's fun. I should be drinking beer instead. Anyways, players of the week, AFC offense, Colts running back Jonathan Taylor over 150 scrimmage yards. I can't remember how many he had. A lot, but he scored 3 touchdowns as well. AFC defense, Chargers safety Derwin James Jr. I highlighted him on the Chargers win against the Broncos. He was my player of the game for that, player of the week in the NFL in the AFC side. AFC special teams, Browns kicker Andre Schmidt, 2 for 2 on field goals, walk-off 55-yard game winner against the Packers. NFC offense, Bears quarterback Caleb Williams threw for 4 touchdowns in the win over the Cowboys and 298 yards. NFC defense, Vikings corner Isaiah Rodgers, obviously. That was easiest player of the week award ever. 2 defensive touchdowns, 1 on a fumble, 1 on a pick, and he also stripped the fumble that he made. I believe he had 2 forced fumbles. I can't remember. And NFC special teams, Eagles defense tackle Jordan Davis wins it for his blocked field goal and returning it for a touchdown himself. To secure the win even further, and also to cover the spread for all of the Eagles bettors out there. The NFL has reached a multi-year agreement to play a minimum of 3 regular season games in the next 5 years in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, starting next year, like I said. So, yeah, they're going to move kind of from Sao Paulo to Rio now. Interesting to see what that looks like. But, yeah, definitely a good move. I really enjoy the Brazil games on the opening Friday of the season. Titans head coach Brian Callahan handing play call duties to QB's coach Bo Hardegree. So they're looking for a spark on offense. Callahan wants to focus more on game management stuff as well, I believe. So it makes a ton of sense. They don't have an offensive coordinator because Callahan was the play caller. So QB's coach Bo Hardegree is next man up in that role. Giants made the move. They are starting rookie first-round QB Jackson Dart this week against the Chargers at home in MetLife Stadium. Russell Wilson to the bench. He's going to remain the QB2. Jameis Winston, the QB3. But, yeah, I mean, it's massive 0-3 for the Giants. Thought they would have gave Russ a little bit more leeway, but I don't know. Maybe Dayball and Shane feeling a little hot there in New Jersey. And sure, why not? Very difficult matchup, which we'll talk about later. Activation, the 49ers getting some good news for once. they did get a lot of good news this week. Activating wide receiver Demarcus Robinson from the suspended list coming off the 3-game suspension. So he is back, as is Vikings wide receiver Jordan Addison off his 3-game suspension as well. So big time to get Demarcus Robinson up and good to go for San Fran. Need it. IR, Jets linebacker Quincy Williams with a shoulder injury. Eagles edge rusher Nolan Smith with a tricep. He re-aggravated the triceps that he had surgery on after the Super Bowl. And then corner Jacorian Bennett also to IR for the Eagles. All 3 of those guys should return later this season. Injuries, Giants running back Tyrone Tracy. He is out 2 to 4 weeks with a dislocated shoulder. So Cam Scatterbo, next man up, rookie second rounder out of Arizona State. Looked good on Monday Night Football there. The Bucs wide receiver Mike Evans, he is out 2 to 3 weeks with a hamstring injury. Not as bad as last year, but still going to be sorely missed, I think. Luckily, Chris Godwin coming back this week in his season debut for Tampa. Panthers rookie wide receiver Tetro McMillan. He has a calf injury. I don't think that's anything of an issue, though. Should be good to go. Commanders rookie running back Bill Krosky-Merritt. He has a knee injury. Again, I haven't heard anything on that, so I think he's playing. So we'll see what the status is of Bill later. Titans rookie QB Cam Ward, ankle and calf injuries. Again, I haven't heard anything to the negative on that, so I believe Cam Ward will be starting in Houston this week. Ins and outs, Packers, right tackle Zach Tom. He is not going to play, not expected to play Sunday Night Football with an oblique injury. Patriots corner Christian Gonzalez, hamstring injury. He should be making his 2025 debut this week against Carolina. Ravens defense tackle Nnamdi Madubuike, neck injury. He has already been ruled out. Rams wide receiver Devontae Adams, hamstring injury. He is questionable. 49ers, I mentioned they got good news. QB Brock Purdy returning this week. Shoulder and toe injuries, but he will return. Good to go. Wide receivers, Jawan Jennings, shoulder and ankle injuries. Wide receiver, Ricky Pearsall, knee. They are both questionable. I think Pearsall has a better shot at playing than Jennings, though. Steelers, linebacker Alex Highsmith, high ankle sprain. He is out. Bills ruled out defensive tackle Ed Oliver with an ankle injury and linebacker Matt Milano with a pec. Right tackle Spencer Brown and defensive end AJ Epinesa, both questionable. Vikings, linebacker Andrew Van Ginkel, he is out for the Dublin game. Center Ryan Kelly, defense tackle Javon Hargrave, they are in. They are good to go coming off injury. Commanders, QB Jaden Daniels, knee sprain. Wide receiver Terry McLaurin, quad injury. They are both out. Panthers running back Chuba Hubbard, calf injury. He's listed as questionable. Wide receiver Xavier Leggett is out once again. Falcons corner AJ Terrell, hamstring. He is out. Giants wide receiver Malik Neighbors off the injury report. Good to go there for Jackson Dart's debut. Kicker Graham Gano with a groin injury is out. Defensive lineman Raheem Nunez Roach's foot injury. He is doubtful. Chiefs, big time news for Kansas City. Wide receiver Xavier Worthy coming off the shoulder injury sustained week 1. He will return this week and play against the Ravens. Bucks, quarterback Baker Mayfield, wide receiver Chris Godwin, offensive tackle Tristan Wirfs, defensive tackle Logan Hall, all listed as questionable. Jets QB Justin Fields, coming off a concussion. He is on track to play Monday Night Football in Miami. The Packers, running back Josh Jacobs, ankle injury, good to go for Sunday Night Football. Texans, corner Derek Stingley Jr., oblique injury. He's listed as questionable. Wide receiver Nico Collins is good to go. One release, speaking of the Texans, they released safety C.J. Gardner-Johnson. So, interestingly enough, the Eagles trade of C.J. Gardner-Johnson ended up being nothing. It was a trade. So the trade ended up being a net of a 5th round pick, round to move up for the Eagles, because both players are now released. Kenyon Green for the Eagles and C.J. Gardner-Johnson for the Texans. But the Texans got a 6th rounder. The Eagles got a 5th rounder. So essentially, the Eagles move up around for nothing, for free. Why not? A couple signings. The Giants, they signed Falcons kicker Younghoe Koo to their practice squad. Probably going to be elevated with Graham Gano's injury. Ravens signed former Colts defense tackle Taven Bryan to the practice squad. Nnamdi Madubuike dealing with that neck injury. So Bryan, former first-round pick, getting a shot in Baltimore. Eagles, they re-signed corner Eli Ricks, and they also signed former Eagles wide receiver Quez Watkins to the practice squad. Lions signing Bills defense tackle Quentin Jefferson to their practice squad. One workout, the 49ers, they worked out Buck safety Shiloh Sanders. So Deion's other son might be getting a chance again after he got cut in training camp with the Bucks after a punch in the last preseason game. College football pick standings. Yes, sir. I had the best week last week, and that put me up top there kept me up top over Logan. But Jimmy had a bad week. He dropped down with Logan, so they are both chasing me 3 games back. Pretty solid, though. Last week, Logan and I went undefeated in our lone wolves. He got Michigan right over Nebraska, close 3-point win there, and Indiana right over Illinois. I mean, they blasted the hell out of Illinois, 63-10. I went 3-0, like I said. So Logan went 2-0. I went 3-0 in mine. Got Tulsa and Iowa right on Friday. Tulsa beating Oklahoma State at Oklahoma in Stillwater. Iowa beating Rutgers in Piscataway, New Jersey there. And then my other one, Arizona State, walking off against Baylor 27-24 on a field goal. And Jimmy, he went 1-1. SMU lost to TCU, and then he got Fresno State right against Hawaii on the island. So a couple more lone wolves to talk about this week. We're starting off in the game that's going on right now. Number 8, Florida State, having some trouble getting past midfield here at Virginia in Charlottesville. And I wasn't sure why the spread was so low, 6.5. But I guess it looks the Virginia's been playing well, 3-1. I just thought FSU would really beat the brakes off of them. I don't. They're having some penalty issues, and looks like Florida State just turned the freaking ball over. That's classic for an upset. When you're on the road against an unranked opponent, penalties and turnovers. That's how you get upset. So yeah, we'll see. And it looks like they ruled it Virginia ball. Yeah, that's tough. Was he down though? It's a big if. Can't tell. No, it looks like he was down. I don't know. I couldn't see the ball there. Anyways, obviously we all like FSU. Pretty much everyone does. 60.5 is the total. I had the over 56. So I needed 8 touchdowns. We have nothing through the first half of the first quarter. So yeah, that looks like it's out actually from that angle. It looks like his arms are free. I don't see a ball. So but yeah, that is very difficult for Florida State there on the road. Start at 7. It's on ESPN right now. Two other games tonight, but we're only covering 2 of them. This one and Florida State, and this one, number 24, TCU at Arizona State. Like I'm rolling with the Sun Devils once again. Trident's up. I carried them last week against Baylor and Waco. They're coming back home now, and I think they can win this game. TCU, I really like. I really like TCU. Josh Hoover is an excellent player, but so is Sam Levitt. Levitt. They also have a really good defense, and I think this one's going to be a very close game tonight. But ASU, the home team, they're favored by 3.5. I think they get the upset over TCU, even though it's not an official upset because they are technically the favorite. But it's an upset because they're playing a ranked team. 54.5 is the total. I lean on the under. 9 p.m. on Fox. Number 21, USC at number 23, Illinois. Yep, another lone wolf here. Jimmy is rolling with the Illini at home. I thought about it. I really did. 6.5 is not a terrible spread to take for a home dog, especially in the Big Ten. USC second year in the Big Ten. But I watched that Michigan State game last week. I also watched the Indiana game a little bit. And what I saw was Indiana no defense against a high-powered offense, which Jade Mayava and the Trojans do have. And what I also saw against USC is that high-powered offense can win them games and win it by a couple touchdowns. So that's why I like USC. I think it's going to be a close game. I lean Illinois plus 6.5. I do have USC -6, but yeah, I think the Trojans should be able to get it done and hopefully exploit some of those defensive holes that Indiana found last week. 60.5 is the total here. I am going to go with the under. 12 p.m. on Fox. Number 22, Notre Dame at Arkansas. Yeah, the Razorbacks catching 4.5 at home. I got it at 6 earlier in the week, so that was a good CLV there. But yeah, I think Taylor Green, that was just shocking loss in Memphis last week. I think that Arkansas is a better team than that, but I don't think they're good enough to beat Notre Dame overall. It's going to be a very, very difficult test for CJ Carr to go into Fayetteville and win. But I like Notre Dame to get that done. Arkansas to cover, though, in a close one. 63.5 total. I lean on the under. 12 p.m. ABC. Rutgers at Minnesota. Another Big Ten matchup here. We're in the conference. Yeah, I'm going with Scarlet Knights. I loved what I saw from them last Friday, and I was very impressed with Ethan Kaliak-Manis at quarterback. The Minnesota transfers. This is kind of a revenge game. I can't recall if they played Minnesota while he has been there at Rutgers. But yeah, I like Rutgers here. Need to play better defensively, but I think they can go into Minneapolis and win here. It's gonna be a dogfight against PJ Fleck, but I like the Scarlet Knights. Greg Schiano gets a Big Ten win here. 51.5 total. I lean on the under. 12 p.m. Big Ten Network. Louisville at Pitt. It's gonna be a tough one for Louisville to come into Acrisure Stadium and win, but I like the Cardinals. I think they're a forgotten team in the ACC this year. Obviously, they're 3-0, looking good. But yeah, I think the Cardinals can get it done. This was a toss up for me, and I kind of wanted to go with the home team in Pitt, Eli Holstein and Pat Narduzzi, but I'm going to go with Louisville. I think they're the better team. 56.5 total. I'm going to go with the under. 12 p.m. ESPN 2. Cincinnati at Kansas. Jayhawks, Rock Chalk, let's get it. Jalen Daniels playing fantastic right now. I know they have one loss, but definitely still in the Big 12 race. And I think that Cincinnati, while I did herald them as a sleeper in the Big 12 this year, I think that Kansas is just going to be too good for them, especially in Lawrence. 57.5 total. I'm going to lean on the over. 12 p.m. on TNT. Number 1, Ohio State at Washington. Yeah, this thing's been moving up and moving up. It's up to 9.5 now. I put it at 10 for Washington. Just a throwaway pick, but yeah, it's not going to be easy going to Seattle. Washington, kind of like Louisville and ACC. Like I said, Washington's a forgotten team that they're playing very well. Damon Williams at quarterback, Jonah Coleman at running back. And that's wide open. I mean, my goodness, how can you get more wide open in the end zone than that Virginia tight end? Cavaliers going up about to be 7-0 on Florida State. Wow. All right. Anyways, yeah, Washington, I think, is a good team, and Jed Fish has these guys playing well. It's going to be a tough one to beat Ohio State, even at home, but I think the Buckeyes pull one out, although closer than many people expect. 51.5 total. I lean on the under. 3:30 CBS Paramount Plus. Number 4 LSU at number 13 Ole Miss. The Rebels getting 1.5 at home. It was down from 2.5, and I'm conflicted on this one. The analytics say Ole Miss to cover here. My heart says LSU. They are the better team. Trinidad Chambliss is getting the start over Austin Simmons for Ole Miss, but I think Garrett Nussmeier and this Tigers offense gets it going. And I don't think it's a shootout. I think this LSU defense comes to play like it has all season. They shut down Chambliss and that Rebels offense and get the win here in Oxford. 57.5 total. I want to go with the over, but I'm going to lean on the under. 3:30 on ABC. Auburn at number 9, Texas A&M. Aggies getting 6.5 at home. I like Auburn on the spread. I think they're pretty good. They held Oklahoma to a close game last week, and that was on the road as well. So I like Auburn. I think that they can definitely make a run at this thing. A&M. Marcel Reed's a guy that I'm so conflicted on. I liked him, and I picked them lone wolfed A&M to beat Notre Dame. But in South Bend, by the way. But I think that Auburn is pretty solid team. So give me the Tigers on the spread there, but A&M to win. 53.5 is the total. I'm going to lean on the over. 3:30 on ESPN. Number 11, Indiana at Iowa. Hoosiers coming off the big time just demolition derby of Illinois last week, but going to Iowa City here, face Iowa. 8.5 on the road. That's a tough one. I lean Iowa plus 8.5, but I'm also not very sure. Iowa had a tough time on defense last week against Rutgers, so I can't imagine how much harder it's going to be this week against a high-flying attack with Fernando Mendoza and Kurt Cignetti and co. It's a tough one for Iowa, but I definitely going to go with Indiana to win for sure. Not sure about the spread. 48.5 is the total. I'm going to lean on the under. 3:30 on Peacock. Number 15, Tennessee, 7.5 points at Mississippi State. I was shocked by this one, but it's a road game, right? In the SEC, you never know, I guess. Mississippi State's surprising everyone, 4-0 for the Bulldogs. So, yeah, I haven't watched Mississippi State yet, but I have watched Tennessee, and I think they're going to be okay. I think they're going to win. I think they're going to win by at least a touchdown in Starkville. So, go Vols on this one. 62.5 is the total. I'm going to go with the over. 4:15 p.m. SEC Network. Arizona at number 14, Iowa State. We are all on the Cyclones. I've been on the Cyclones from the get-go this season. They are my Big 12 champ from the preseason. They're getting 5.5 at home. I like them to cover. I think it's going to be a good game, but I think ultimately Iowa State runs away with it in the fourth quarter for Rocco Becht, Abu Sama, and Carson Hansen there. Yeah, there you go. 3 penalties for 40 yards and a fumble lost for FSU led to the 7-0 deficit. Total is 48.5 in this one. I'm going to go with the over 7 p.m. on ESPN. This is the big one. Number 6, Oregon. Number 3, Penn State. Happy Valley. White out. Of course, why would I not pick my hometown team? We are Penn State, 3.5 at home. They should cover that, and they're going to get the win. The biggest win of James Franklin's career comes at home in Happy Valley against Oregon, and it vaults Penn State into true contender status. Total here is 53.5. I am going to go with the under. Penn State defense shuts Dante Moore down, forces him into some mistakes. 7:30 p.m. NBC and Peacock. Number 17, Alabama. At number 5, Georgia. 2.5 for the Dogs at home. I'll let Logan this first. But go Dogs, baby. This is all about Georgia and the streak, right? They are riding, I believe it's a 32, 33 game home win streak. And I believe FSU just coughed the ball up again, unless they rule that an incompletion. But we will have to wait and see on that one. Yep, they called it a fumble again. So FSU 2 turnovers in the first quarter. They're reviewing it. Never mind. But go Dogs, baby. Let's go. Big time that we get Alabama at home for the first time in a long time. And we're going to make the Tide pay. Defensively and offensively, the lines have been stout. They need to get the running game going a little bit more, protect Gunner Stockton for sure. And defensively, shore up the pass defense. But I really like this Georgia side here against Alabama in Athens. Go Dogs. 54.5 is the total. And go with the over. 7:30 on ABC. Number 25, BYU at Colorado, the nightcap for the FBS. I was originally thinking about Colorado, Caden Salter and squad, but I'm going to go with the upstart Cougars. I know I have a freaking bet under 7.5 wins is not going very well right now, but I want to win the pick standings, right? So let's go Cougs. It's a tough one on the road. I was surprised at the spread 6.5. That seems like a lot to me on the road. By the way, they ruled that incomplete for FSU, so back on offense for the Seminoles and second down, I believe, in 10. Yep. So BYU though, yeah, I like them on the road. Lean Colorado plus 6.5 though. I think they could cover that. Total is 49.5 here. I am going to go with the over. 10:15 on ESPN. FCS game of the week, number 8 Idaho, the Vandals at number 5 Montana. The Grizz should be favored by quite a bit. I think at home in not Bozeman. That's where Montana State is. Kalamazoo. I can't remember. Anyways. Yeah, I like the Grizz in this one. That quarterback, Ayat, he is really solid. They also have Eli Gilman at running back that can pound you inside as well. So, yeah, give it the Grizz at home. 10:15 p.m. ESPN 2. National Spotlight for the Big Sky. NFL pick standings. Hell of a week I had, people. Still fourth, though. Tied for second, I should say. But fourth on the screen here. Yeah, it's a tight race to start the season. Logan dropping a 500 burger this week, allowing all of us to catch up. But John's still lonely down there at the bottom. He is 4 games back of first right now. But yeah, 11-3 last week for me. It was a fantastic weekend picking games for the NFL and college, really, because I had the best record in both. But last week, Logan was actually 1-0 on his Lone Wolves. Got the Vikings right in their rout over the Bengals. Jimmy went 1-1 in his Lone Wolves. Got the Panthers right in their 30-0 blowout of the Falcons, and then lost the Titans, getting blown out by the Colts. And Danny lost his only Lone Wolf, the Cardinals, a walk-off field goal for Eddie Pinheiro for the 49ers to win that one over Arizona. We got quite a bit of Lone Wolves this week, but a lot of it's chalky for sure. This is the only split decision I believe we have. Maybe there's one other one, but yeah, Dublin. Let's go. Irish Vikings, 2.5-point favorites at the Steelers. It's in Dublin. And I don't know what Danny and Logan are smoking. You cannot tell me to pick against the freaking Roonies in their homeland. No, they're going to win it, of course. It's the luck of the Irish, right? So I was very shocked Jimmy didn't pick the Vikings. But I'm also shocked that not everyone picked the Steelers. So, yeah. Let's go Irish. Get this thing done here for the Steelers. Total's 40.5. I'm going to go with the under. 9:30 a.m. NFL Network and NFL Plus. 1 p.m. slate here. Eagles at the Bucks. I hate this so much. I hate everyone. I thought I was going to be like the only one selecting the Bucks, maybe because I've told everyone in the picks how much struggle the Eagles have had in Tampa over the years. Lost 6 of the last 7 there, and also 1-3 for Nick Sirianni in his career against the Bucs. So yeah, it is very difficult, and it's going to be 90 degrees in Tampa. I don't know. I don't think the Eagles are going to be ready for it. They've again struggled mightily against the Bucs, getting blown out for the majority of the last couple of games. So I don't know. I also have money implications. I have a bet for the Bucs to get to 4-0. Them and the 49ers. Those are my two teams that I bet on to go 4-0. So hate that I got to root against my Birds, but I didn't expect them to win this one anyways. I know they're 3.5-point favorites. Bucs have a lot of injuries. So do the Eagles. Nolan Smith really deteriorates that pass rush for Philly, although they do have Jalen Carter, of course, inside. But again, it's going to be hot. Probably over 100 degrees on the field. So I think that's going to be a rough setting. And that was just a horrendous play for Thomas Castellanos. I mean, I don't know how you let that happen. A defender in his face tips the ball up after the throw and catches it with Castellanos not able to do anything to fight him off or bat the ball away. So that's ridiculous. You're on the UVA 5-yard line. I mean, you gotta get this ball down to the ground if you're Castellanos. I mean, that's horrific defense for Castellanos. Gotta be able to make that play and get that ball on the ground, not let the defender get it. So yeah, I mean, Virginia's playing a hell of a game defensively so far. Total in this Eagles game here is 44.5. I am going to lean on the under. Panthers at the Patriots. We are all on. I am leaning Carolina to cover again, though, just like they did against the Falcons, and they blew the hell out of the Falcons last week. Not going to do that this week, I don't think, anyways. But I do like the Panthers cover back-to-back weeks, 5.5-point dogs. So lean Carolina plus 5.5. I think New England gets off the schneid, gets to 500 under Mike Vrabel here. 42.5 is the total. I'm going to lean on the under. Giants at hosting the Chargers. Absolutely love the Chargers this week. I think they are going to make life very difficult for Jackson Dart in his first career start. So, yeah, give me Jesse Minter and this LA defense, sacking, hitting, turning over Jackson Dart. I think that he's going to have a very difficult start to his NFL career. Total's 43.5. I'm going to go with the under. Titans at the Texans. Jimmy back-to-back weeks. AFC South matchups. Titans. Lone wolf for Jimmy. I don't know. Man. Cam Ward's banged up. The offensive line can't protect him. And while the offensive line can't protect C.J. Stroud as well, the Titans are 31st defensively, especially they struggle against the run. So, and I mean, things just getting worse and worse and worse for FSU. You can't play a worse quarter. 2 turnovers. I think it's 6 penalties now. They just had an illegal substitution, 12 men on the field. Gave UVA a first down. So, what up?
What up? Finally here.
Yeah, I've been just marveling over how absolute shit the Florida State Seminoles are playing right now in Charlottesville. So, down 7-0 at the end of quarter 1.
That's not good.
Yeah, 2 turnovers. I think it's 6 penalties already. Yeah, including a turnover that they just had on the UVA 5-yard line going
Ooh.
in to tie the game.
Yikes.
Yeah, but yeah, you came on perfect timing to defend your back-to-back Titans lone wolves in the AFC South matchups after they got blitzed by the Colts by 21 last week.
They got to win eventually, right? I don't know. I'm thinking just like at some point the levee has to break. I didn't think, even with how bad it was, I didn't think the offense looked too bad against the Colts. And I think the offense here against the Texans could show up and do well enough. I don't think that, other than the front, the defensive line, I'm not really impressed with the Texans defense. And then other side of the field, I think the Texans offense has not shown enough to me to really be too much of an issue for the Titans. I know the Titans defense is also pretty bad, but I don't see anything in the Texans offense that makes me go like, oh, yikes. So I don't know. I always just have this feeling that the Texans have to win eventually. Titans have to win eventually.
Mm-hmm.
I think it makes sense here. All right, both teams are 0-3. Texans should have steamrolled Jacksonville. I thought that loss to Jacksonville was really bad. Maybe there's a belief that they'll come back. Ooh, good recovery win. Make sure they don't go 0-4, but I'm not buying into it.
Yeah, I just think the Texans are more talented here, and also I already talked about the Titans being 31st defensively. I believe that's against the run. Maybe it's total defense as well, but yeah, Nick Chubb and Woody Marks should have a good day running the ball, especially with no Tavondre Sweat in the middle of that defense. It opened up a lot of room there. It's just can CJ Stroud get the ball off, and can someone else get open other than Nico Collins? That's been the issues offensively. Defensively, the Texans have been really good against the pass. They are also not very good against the run. But if they can get Tennessee into second and third and longs, again, Cam Ward's coming into this thing banged up, had calf and ankle injury popped up on the injury report this week. So I don't think he's 100%. And going up against Will Anderson, Danielle Hunter, I mean, that makes life rough. Total is 39.5, one of the lower ones this weekend. I'm going to go with the under. And it's a scary under, but I'm going with the under anyways. You know why? Because the under has hit in all 3 Texans games this year. So we're keeping the hammer down on the unders with the Houston games until they set it too low, and then we got to go the over. Commanders at the Falcons. Yes, sir. All rise for the ATL, whatever they say. I don't know. But yeah, I'm surprised more people aren't with me on the Falcons. I know. They just lost 30-0 in Carolina last week. I don't care. Jaden Daniels isn't playing. Terry McLaurin's not playing. So Marcus Mariota doesn't have their best receiver on their roster. Bill Krosky-Merritt's also banged up. They all have offensive line issues. So I don't know. I think the Commanders are too beat up. It is going to help Washington not having to face A.J. Terrell, which he is out on defense for Atlanta. But I think the switch, I'm blanking on Zach Robinson, the offensive coordinator, I believe, for Atlanta. He's coming down from the booth to the field this week to call plays. So hopefully that changes. They also fired their wide receivers coach and another position coach as well. So I'm hoping that makes the difference here. And Michael Penix, they lean on Bijan. Well, you got to lean on number 7. He is your best player on the team, and you got to lean on him. I think it's a great opportunity against this Washington defense. I don't believe in their run defense. So, yeah, give me Atlanta at home. I like it. Total is 43.5. I am going to go with the under, just under. Oh my goodness. Chandler Fields just got absolutely demolished on a slot blitz. Never saw him coming. I think the UVA quarterback's Chandler Fields. I'm probably wrong, but I don't know. Yeah. Saints at the Bills. I mean, it might end up being the biggest spread all year in the NFL. 15.5 is ridiculous for the NFL. I don't know if the Bills cover. They probably should. I'm not even close to anywhere near this game, and that's just stupid by Florida State. I mean, 2nd and 18. How do you let a guy run right down the middle of the field and get the first down? I don't. This is bad defense. Terrible defense. But Florida State's going to get upset. It's not looking good at all. So they have no life, no enthusiasm, it looks like, on the field or the sideline. They're just shocked. They're in shock. I don't think there's going to be shock in Buffalo, though. The Bills should roll this one pretty handily, which in fantasy, that sets up for a good James Cook day. 47.5 is the total. I like the over. Close. Actually, I don't know. No, I'm going to go with the under. Give me a 30-10 here. Same score they beat the Jets by last week. Browns at the Lions. 10.5 for Detroit at home. I don't know. I'm telling you, the Browns, though, they could probably cover this. I was leaning the Browns spread for one of my best bets. I didn't do it eventually, but really because it's in Detroit. Last week was in Cleveland against Green Bay, so that made it a little bit easier to lean on the Browns, the spread. But being in Detroit, I don't know. This one's a flip-flopper for me on the spread. But we'll see. We'll see if the Lions can really put their pedal down like they did against Chicago or not. Against maybe the best defense in the league. I don't know.
Yeah. We saw what happened with the Packers, so who knows?
Right.
I think it's going to be another just slog. The Browns are really good at just creating slog games, but I think this is going to be one of those games, kind of like the Ravens game where they hold out for 3 quarters and then in the fourth quarter, Lions just absolutely steamroll and score like 20 points.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this game's going to be like, I don't know, 35-10.
Yeah. No. Total's 44.5. You had it just over by the hook. Yeah, I'm gonna go with just under. Browns defense keeps it under somehow. 405 slate here. Jags at the 49ers. Yeah, I think I felt better about my 49ers this week. Like I said earlier, Bucks and the 49ers, they're my two teams that I had bets on to go 4-0. Bucks a lot higher payout than the 49ers are, but still, I like to win both, obviously. Picked the Jags last week against Texans. They won that one. It's a tough game to go on the road in San Fran. And also, it got a lot easier to pick San Francisco with the injury news today of Brock Purdy being back. Ricky Pearsall and Jawan Jennings probably going to play. Like I said, I think Pearsall has a better chance than Jennings does of playing. but they should get at least one of those guys on the field. They get Demarcus Robinson back off the suspension as well. So guys coming back, and obviously they still have one of the best players in the NFL and Christian McCaffrey. So loss of Nick Bosa on defense, I don't think that hurts. Obviously, he's one of the best edge rushers in the league, but against the Jags, I don't think it's going to hurt as much as it normally would. And that's, again, ridiculous defense, 3rd and goal. You let the quarterback run right up the middle on a scramble and score from 11 yards out. He ran probably 20 yards to get there, though. This is stupid defense. I mean, Mike Norvell is just trash. But yeah, Robert Saleh, I think, is going to do a great job game planning for Trevor Lawrence, and they're going to stop the run and make Trevor Lawrence beat you, which I think is the formula if you want to play against the Jags. So 46.5 is the total here. I like the under. Colts at the Rams. Danny back to back. Yeah, I was also surprised that no one went with him. I thought maybe one or two other people would continue the Daniel Jones hype train, and but it's the Rams at home, and it's the Rams defense for me. I don't really think that. I mean, they did beat Denver, which has one of the better defenses. But I don't know. I think that the Rams defense at home, that game was in Indy, so going all the way out to LA, and they're facing a much better offense than the Broncos had. So it's going to be tough. Also, Puka Nacua against a Kenny Mooreless secondary. Hopefully, Devontae Adams playing as well. Hamstring injury, he's questionable. But Alec Pierce is out for the Colts offensively, so they do not have their deep threat. 49.5. This is the highest total of the weekend. And I like the under. 49, that's 7 touchdowns. That's a lot. I think the Rams defense holds it down. Ravens at the Chiefs. Yep, yeah. Why not? It's not anything indicative about the. Actually, it is. What I saw on Monday Night Football there was not good. Not good defense at all. The Ravens have not been good defensively this year. And while the Chiefs haven't been very good offensively, they did score 22 points, granted against the Giants, but the Giants defense isn't a pushover. They have good players on the Giants defense, and especially on that defensive front. My thing is the Ravens very much have struggled to stop the run since Nnamdi Madubuike has been out. And that is why I'm going with the Chiefs. I know the Chiefs offensively haven't really been able to run the ball efficiently. I think they got some stuff going, though, against the Giants that they can continue to move forward here against the Ravens. And it's at home. So I think that helps as well. But I think it's a big day for Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt. I think they keep this thing on the ground. They get Xavier Worthy back as well, which is massive for this passing game. He'll be able to open up some stuff for Travis Kelce more underneath. And, I think Patrick Mahomes is starting to get a little bit of groove. It's very, very small inkling right now, but I think that the Chiefs are going to, once they win this one, I think they're going to start going. You got on the Ravens.
I just think they're better. I think even with injuries and last week and the losses, I just think the quality of losses that the Ravens have put up is just better than the Chiefs. I know the Chiefs are at home. I just, I don't know. I'm not even impressed at all with this Chiefs team this year. I'm just until they get Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy, I just don't think they have too much of an offense going right now.
Yeah, I will say Travis Kelce just he looks uninterested. I mean, he doesn't seem like he wants to be there, and I think that's what Andy Reid yelled at him when they had that blow up on the sideline in New Jersey. There, I mean, like you got to go, man. You got to go. we're reaching the quarter point of the season already here, so before we know it, it'll be trade deadline coming up week 8, week 9 area. Um, total in this one's all 48 and a half. 425 slate here, 48 and a half. I'm going to go with the over. Bears at the Raiders. 4 games after 4 o'clock, and we have 4 lone wolves. John on. Of course he is. He's on. He's rolling with Geno Smith and Pete Carroll. All right. This one was wild, though. This flipped 3 points, and I have no clue why. Bears were originally a 1.5 favorite. It has flipped to the Raiders 1.5. I don't know why. Like you and I and Danny and Logan are on Chicago. I mean, it's not even recency bias, although it is very good to have the performance that Caleb Williams, that offense, put out last week, finally being able to see how explosive this Ben Johnson offense can be. But a big stat, Caleb Williams wasn't sacked last week for the first time in his career in a game. The Bears are looking to go back-to-back sackless games on offense for the first time, I believe, since like 05 or something like that. It's been a long time since they've been back-to-back zeros on the sack column offensively. So it's going to be difficult against Max Crosby and Tyree Wilson, but and Malcolm Kuntz. But I like this Bears offense, and I like the defense as well. Ashton Genty has severely struggled, and the Bears actually are one of the worst rush defenses in the league. Saw Javonte Williams break off multiple long runs last week, but I think they're going to shore it up. They need better play of those deep tackles. Touchdown Florida State, half the lead here, 14-7. Gavin Sawchuk, the Oklahoma transfer, getting in 2 yards for the score. So Seminoles get some life. But anyways, yeah, I liked Chicago. I liked them -1.5. I like them even better +1.5. So yeah, Bears get it done. Total on this one's also 48.5. I'm gonna go with the under. The under hits in Vegas. Sunday Night Football. It's Power G's across the board here. Packers at the Cowboys, 6.5 for Green Bay. I like the Packers to cover. I just don't know what this Cowboys team has now, right? I mean, without CeeDee Lamb, it's kind of simple. You double team George Pickens, and I mean, I'm fine with going 1-on-1 with Cavante Turpin and Jalen Tolbert. Sure. I mean, Turpin's speed is tough, but he's not a refined route runner at this point in his career. And then, you have the linebackers in the front seven to stop Javonte Williams in the run game. So I don't really know where this Cowboys offense goes. Defensively too, it's difficult. Trayvon Diggs has been very bad. He's one of the worst corners in yards per reception against him. So yeah, I mean, I don't think this Cowboys defense is where they thought it would be under Matt Eberflus, but yeah, I don't know. I just think the Packers are much better and they're a lot healthier as well. Josh Jacobs going to play in this game. He's off the injury report. Green Bay, other than Zach Tom, doesn't have any major injuries, and the Cowboys don't have the pass rush without Micah Parsons. I mean, Micah Parsons might have 7 sacks in this game by himself.
Yeah, he might kill him. He might actually kill him. I mean, you're mentioning like the only targets for Dallas, and I think the only real offensive firepower they have, I don't even think it's George Pickens. I think it's Ferguson. I think if they lock down Ferguson, this game's over. That offensive line is beat up, and the Packers are looking to avenge themselves after last week's embarrassing loss in Cleveland. So, yeah, I don't see a world where they don't kind of run all over them.
And we didn't even mention the history, right? I mean, there's a hierarchy, okay, in the NFC. It goes Cowboys always lose to the Packers. The Packers always lose to the 49ers. And recently it's the 49ers always lose to the Eagles. So yeah, that's the hierarchy of how the NFC works, people. That's just how it goes. So yeah, I think it's going to get another one for Green Bay in this one. 46.5 is the total. I'm going to go with the over. I think points get scored. 8:20 NBC. Best bets of the week. Yeah. Jimmy, I said it because you weren't here, but I hate this graphic so much. So much. Why did y'all have to do this to me? Now the Bucks are going to lose.
We all picked the Bucks. What the fuck?
I don't know why. Why couldn't someone sacrifice for the greater good? I mean, hell, Danny's lone wolfed the Cardinals twice in a row. Why couldn't he pick the freaking Eagles?
I don't know,
man. But yeah, I am on the Bucks. Hey, I went 3-0 last week. Okay, best bets. I'm back to 6-3 now. After a 3-3 start to the year. I got the Jags -1.5 right against the Texans. Got the Panthers +5.5 against the Falcons last week in the outright win, and the Bears +1.5 outright win against the Cowboys as well. So we're back-to-back picking the Bears. And by the way, talk about picks. How about Florida State getting a pick? Right as I say the pick with a word pick. Yeah, there you go. FSU back in it. Looking to tie it before half. 6:40 to go in the first half. But yeah, I'm back on the Bears 2 weeks in a row and back on +1.5 since the line swung. So yeah, back-to-back 1.5 point dogs for Chicago, and I think they win for the second straight week. Get to 2-2. Bucks, obviously, like I said, +3.5 against the Eagles. Eagles have historically struggled against Tampa, and they've gotten blown out a couple of times in the last couple of games they've played. Nick Sirianni's 1-3 against the Bucks, and it's going to be 90 degrees. That is just the regular temperature, probably about 110, 120 on the field. So it's going to be a scorcher as a 1 p.m. kickoff in Tampa. And Eagles are going to have a tough time. They went down today early. They went down today just to like try to get acclimated, I guess. So you're not gonna, but anyways, I like the Bucks +3.5. Even if they lose, I think they're going to keep it close. And the Packers, we just talked about -6.5. We both think that they're going to smack the Cowboys around. So lock standings. Yep, you and John, last men standing at the top. I hate the Packers so much. Because that
Let's
is
see.
what lost it. That's what lost it. Logan, Danny, and I all went on the Packers. They were leading 10-0 in the fourth quarter, gave up 13 unanswered, including a blocked field goal. And yeah.
If you guys want to know, I obviously picked the 49ers.
You and John worked together last week. You got the Bucks right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
By the skin of our teeth.
Yeah, comeback win, but Baker Mayfield's hot right now. So it worked over the Jets. This week, yep, it's three of us once again. I'm hoping that John is not on the chopping block because it's you and him at the top, and there might only be one left. But I like it. I like them all. Maybe that's all. I picked all three of these people. So Logan, John, and I, we are on the Chargers. Screw Jackson Dart. You're on the 49ers because you had to flip because the Lions moved up over 10 points, and we have a 10-point favorite rule. And Danny is back-to-back on the Packers. So hopefully they don't let him down this week. By the way, this is my second time picking the Bucks in the best bets this year. I lost the first one. Or no, I won, actually. Never mind. What am I saying? Yeah, week 1, -1.5 at the Falcons. Got that one. So I'm trying to go 2-0 on the Bears and 2-0 on the Bucks to start the season on best bets. Dog standings. Yeah, it was a rough one last week. It has been rough for the dog standings. I mean, my goodness. I don't know what I'm doing, man. I can't get even a cover. I mean, probably not helping myself by picking smaller spreads, but we've all picked the smaller spreads. I mean, everyone has picked a spread of +3.5 or less until this week. But Danny, the only one that got a cover last week by the skin of his teeth, +2.5 against the 49ers for the Cardinals, lose outright. But I wish I would have put him as the closing line because the closing line was 1.5, so they did cover by the hook. But yeah, I don't think we want to talk about you, John, and I's dog last week.
No, we don't.
Your boys put it on.
Yes, sir.
+3.5, +2.5 for the Bengals in at Minnesota. And Logan lost. Sorry, Logan, but the Rams +3.5 in Philly. Jordan Davis is the GOAT. Jordan Davis is the GOAT. So yeah, but Logan is still at the top. That was his first 2 losses of the year. John drops down to 3-3, so Danny moves up to tie him for second, 1 game back, and you're 2 games back at 2-4. And yeah, I again, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm 0-6. I need something to work this week, and hopefully John can bring me to the promised land. This is 3 for 3, picking the Bucks, best bets, regular picks, and dogs. I was thinking about switching to the Bears once they moved to a dog, but I have not. I've held steadfast on the Buccaneers, +3.5 against the Eagles. I'm hoping I do not give myself bad juju picking against my team this many times, but there are financial things involved, so I think I need the financials more than they do. But yeah, +3.5 for John and I on the Bucks. You are going the Titans. The first spread over +3.5. So I think you'll get a cover. I think you can get a cover at the very worst. I don't think they're going to win outright, as the picks showed. But yeah, I think 7.5 in that in a division game, it should be able to get a cover there. And how about Thomas Castellanos? Oh, no. Oh, no. Wait, did they rule that? What are we? Oh, my goodness. No way. Okay. He fumbled it before the pylon. I was like, no. One of those rules. But yeah, fumble out of bounds to 1 yard line. Florida State's going in. Yeah, Logan is on the Commanders, plus 2.5 at the Falcons. I'm lone wolf in Atlanta, so sorry, Logan, bye. And Danny is on the Jags, his lone wolf, plus 3.5 at the 49ers. Sorry, Danny, bye. You're lone wolfing against the 49ers. So, yeah. Let's get it. Touchdown. Micah Pittman for the Seminoles, and they are back in. Randy Pittman, I should say. My bad. I thought it was Micah Pittman. Randy Pittman, though, into the end zone. Seminoles, tie ball game in Charlottesville. It's a new game. 5:30 to go in the second quarter. Anything else you want to say about your Titans?
I believe, man. Not giving up. It's a pretty big spread. I mean,
yeah,
I think
it's the second highest one of the week, or no, third highest, I should say. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, Jimmy, I forgot because you weren't here for the other picks here. This is how the Dublin turned out. I was shocked. You didn't pick the Vikings.
I don't know. I think the Steelers just have a better system than the Bengals, and when you're overseas, bullshit happens. So who knows?
I said I can't believe Danny and Logan picked the Vikings. You cannot pick against the Roonies in their homeland. It's not going to happen, okay? The luck of the Irish is going to show up on the field some way or another. So, I'm just saying. Yeah, it's pretty chalky until we get to the later games. Kind of same thing in college as well. There was not. But anyways, that's show today. Next week, NFL Week 5. Tell you game previews. Another week of double Monday Night Football. So we got the Jets at the Dolphins. Just a fantastic 0-3 showdown there. And the Bengals, what can they do coming off 38-point loss? Have to face another really good defense in the Broncos in Denver. So I don't know. Both of those games might be pretty bad. We'll see. And then another NFC West showdown to start off Week 5, 49ers at the Rams. That'll be the first time I pick against the 49ers this year. After they cash me my 4-0. After that happens. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media at FAA Podcast, Instagram and X, FAA_X, _bets on X as well. FAApodcast.com is our website. Check us out here on YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, as well as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio. We are Penn State. Go Dogs! This weekend. Massive showdowns in Happy Valley and Sanford Stadium. Have a great football weekend. Enjoy it.